In our last lesson, we were successful in detailing the design of the lighting cans that form the red, the amber and green sections of our mobile traffic light design. In this lesson, we're going to mount that mobile traffic light module onto the central pillar using this hanging mechanism here. And in order to do that, we need to refine this bracket detail, which you can see with the green lugs. So let's get underway with that. Firstly, as we've done in the past, let's isolate the problem. So the first part of this process is just to look at that lug detail. We'll hide it, then we'll swap it, and now let's bring up the 4-point view. Let's mirror that element now. So we dig under the transform command, left click, scroll down to mirror, and then just reflect that across. We need to make that slightly smaller, so we're just going to slide that down into about that position there. Should do just fine if we're just working by eye at this stage. Now we need to build a bracket off that lug. So if we go onto the front view, we'll just select that lug and highlight all, so we can see that there. What we want to do is build an arc off that lug with a little bracket off one side here. So let's generate a circle from that element there. So first we just take curve, scroll down to curve from objects, and now we'll just duplicate edge. The edge that we're going to duplicate is that element just there. So you can see it highlighted in yellow. Right click to keep it in position. And now we're just going to hide that back element there. So you can see we have that circle already in position. We can hide that one as well. So we'll just flick that off. And now we're going to build a square off the end of that. So in order to access the square, we go under the polygon command on the blue triangle, and you can see square by edge. The snap that we want is quad, so we're going to snap the top edge of the square and then down on the bottom edge, and we're just going to mirror that across. So once these things fall in position, often they'll flick the opposite way, so we just transform, left click on mirror, just drag to the top, and we've reversed that. Press the delete, and now we've got everything in position. The next element that we need to make is just we're going to split that element, so we're going to end up with a perimeter around that section there. So we can just use the cutting edge of that, we can explode it, delete that element, join it again, and now we take the circle, we use the split command as well, and we use that element as the split. It's split into two pieces. We'll just take the back piece and delete it. Delete the center element, and you can see now we now have the outline of our supporting bracket. So let's just join that. We can see that there. Now we'll just swap out and bring in some other elements. So we're just going to go to the right click on the command bar, scroll down to swap hidden and visible. We're going to take that portion of the lug back, and we're going to take that section, we've got the right bit, the central portion of the mobile traffic light module. So we're going to just hide those elements, then swap hidden and visible. So we right click on the command bar and come down. They're looking fine in just the right position. Excellent. So we take the perimeter element that we've just made, and we're going to extrude that. So solid, extrude planar curve, straight, and we're just going to pull to the outer edge of that lug. So we can see everything is in position there, mounted into the design. Perfect. Now the next element that we need to bring in is we'll mirror this across to the opposite side of the light fitting. So in order to do that, we'll just bring everything into shot again. So we'll just move around to the opposite face now, which we can delete. So we're going to lose that side of the lug. We're going to take the bracket that we've just made and the two lug pieces. There's the back bit, the front bit. we'll just group those. There's the Venn diagram. And we can use the point, which is the central pillar of our design, to mirror that point across. So we'll just click on the point, drag out, flick onto the perspective view, and you can see now we've got the bracket on the opposite side of the design. Now all we need is a section to transfer all the way across there in order to link those two elements together into the supporting ring. So let's do that now. So we'll just take that element there, hide it, so we're isolating our problem. So you can see the repetition in this process. Swap to hidden and visible, and we want to extrude a planar surface between those two lugs. So we'll simply go to solid, extrude surface, straight. The surface we want to select is the center one just there. Right click, and we can drag that out. And we've now joined the two elements together. So we can group those now. So drag the mouse from left to right, select, group those elements, and we'll bring everything back into view. Right click on the hide command, so we can now see that bracket. That's looking perfect. We now want to duplicate that bracket to the opposite side of the mounting ring. So we'll go onto our front view. We have that bracket selected. Left click transform, scroll down to mirror, and then click on the end and just simply drag up. You can see now on that side view it's in position. It's always prudent to flick onto the various viewports just to confirm that everything is in place. That appears to be correct, so we can now select all of that bottom section. So we're just going to scroll from left to right. There we go. Then deselect. So I'm pressing down Control to take away the central pillars. So we've now just got the mounting lug and everything in position. I'm going to group that by pressing that Venn diagram. Now we want to mirror that to the top edge of the traffic light module. So in order to do that, we have this spot just here, or we can use the midpoint, but we're going to use the transform command, scroll down to mirror, and keep your snaps on. Take off quad, and we want point. There's center and point, and if we scroll out, you can see it's now mirrored to the top edge of that element, and everything's in position. Double click on front, and you can see we have both mounting rings in position now. And the last step in the process that we want to consider is now putting the traffic light on the opposite side. So traffic coming from the other direction can also see, go, stop, amber accordingly. So we want to grab, before we do that, we're just going to turn off the black con layer. So we get rid of extraneous detail from our design. Now, front layer. Shut off the layer manager, scroll from left to right to select everything that's part of the traffic light module. And now we use the mirror command. So in this case, you'll notice we're using a lot of commands we've used previously. Left click transform, left click mirror, and we want point to be the snap command. So we're right in the middle of our datum point. Scroll up, and we have now duplicated the opposite face of the mobile traffic light design. Okay, double click on our view, double click on perspective, and let's look at our handiwork. So we've now done the mounting brackets. We've refined the detail in here using a couple of new commands, and we've then mirrored those various elements around to build the final mobile traffic light module. Okay, see you in the next lesson.